welcome to this next episode of the Beloved Miracles Couples Project. Today we are reaching from Norway to Bend, Oregon, USA. Hi, Heidi and Paul.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Heidi and Paul Vodrup, aka the Vodes, went from losing everything they had, bankrupt, broke, and living in a trailer for 2 years to creating an entirely new life. They learned that you can restart for freedom anytime in your life. So Paul and Heidi, where does your story begin?
Oh my gosh, where did our story begin? Well, to start it off, both Paul and I were in the mortgage and real estate industry, doing very well. Paul was pretty high up on the chain, the food chain there for the Washington Mutual Bank. And I was in real estate. We were living life, taking vacations and, had a trailer and a boat, and we were just, enjoying life, not living, luxuriously out of our means by any way, just and having a wonderful life and I
forgot to tell them how we met.
Oh, well, we met. That's right. We had a long distance relationship actually for over a year. I was living in Bend, Oregon, and Paul was living in Eugene, Oregon. And I had absolutely zero desire to go to Eugene. I'm a sun person, originally from California and the beach, and Bend is a beautiful, sunny town. Anyway, we dated for a year and a half, and I finally bit the bullet, and he proposed to me. We got married, and I had to move to Eugene. So we lived in Eugene for 5 years, and part of my vow, I swear to this day, was promise me in 5 years that we can move back to Bend. Well, we did, and so 5.5 years later, we moved back. I actually left a big part of the story out there.
The big stuff.
Yeah,
my
husband's going to tell that story. But before we moved back, we were in no position financially to make that move. We had literally lost every single thing that we had, literally. And I'm going to throw that one over to Paul because he's going to share exactly kind of what happened. Being in the real estate and mortgage industry in 2008 is when it happened. So there you go.
So yeah, so anyhow, we'd been married now for a little, about a year. And like she said, things were pretty good. I was doing well and she was doing well. And then along came the financial crisis that I think we all know about. December 11th, 2007, I get an email from my company that says your office and your job no longer exist. It was a pretty staggering thing. And that was really about the time the crisis started gaining speed, downhill spiral for us for quite a while. We really struggled knowing what to do and how to do it and to survive that time. It's funny because people will talk to us now and they'll hear that story, that what we went through of stuff, which is stuff.
Cars, everything.
Lost retirement, just to, we used retirement just to stay alive. People go, you guys are still married after all that? We needed each other through all of that. And I mean, Heidi can talk about days I would sit at the table just looking so depressed and she barely stand it, but through some of that stuff, I need some of her spark and energy. Times maybe I was able to help her through some stuff, but we went through just a cycle downward. Certainly would not wish that on anybody. And I know there were lots of other people in the world and in the United States that happened to. We weren't alone. Hundreds of thousands of people had that happen to them. So we worked through that and did finally get to a point where, for me anyhow, I'd lived in that area for a long time, and losing everything, you just went, well, if there's ever a time to explore a new life and to jump out, why not now? I got nothing left, so why not? Let's go. So she wanted to move back to Bend. Off we went in our trailer.
And the one thing that I knew as I saw everything starting to unfold, and I realized that we were going like downhill and we had nothing left. The one thing that we did have was this little travel trailer. I mean, I'm not talking like a fifth wheel or this fancy motorhome. It was a little travel trailer. And a very amazing couple friends, our best friends actually said, bring that darn trailer over to Ben and park it on our property. And so we did. And I remember my husband always saying, I can't just jump off a cliff, Heidi, without some water. We have to have, I mean, there's just rocks.
We need a job. I need something.
Yeah, and we had no job. I mean, we just moved over there and lived in this stinky, tiny little trailer with, thank God for our friends that allowed us to do that. But it ended up being 2 years later for us to get back on our feet while we lived in that trailer. So yeah, were we homeless? Technically, I mean, we had a trailer that we got to live in, but, and there were days, you guys, I swear, I was the cheerleader during this whole cycle. You know, my husband, I guess for a man, as the provider of a household, you know, he was so depressed. I was the rah-rah girl for, 3 years. And so I never really got to have my own breakdown time. I swear, I may tear up because it brings such emotions to me. But I remember this one time just going on this walk and I just thought, I see no light. Like, God, show me just a glimmer of light. And there was just a time where I just wanted to lay down, and I did actually. I lay on the dirt. I was walking and I just started sobbing, and I was, praying for some door to open for us, some way that, I could see some light for us. We were good people. We did everything the right way. Our parents, taught us, you pay your taxes, you pay your mortgage, you don't get late on things. And we did all the right things. And it's like, why was this happening to us? Like, why? Yeah. And, looking back now, I think we both realized that, everything happens for a reason. This universe creates all of these things for us so that windows of opportunities and abundance open. And it's not always comfortable, and it doesn't always feel good. And sometimes it takes you down a rabbit hole so freaking far, and you don't see any glorious light, to where your life is going to go. And I really do believe that scenario, looking back, we thought it was the worst time of our life. And now I look back and I think, oh my God, I thought we'd own a home again. Never. Yeah. And here, the day we got the keys to our brand new home, literally, life just turned around for us. And I mean, we kept persevering. And for me, I felt like I looked online, for different ways to earn an income. And, we lost our retirement. He's 57. I'm going to be 50. We had to find a way that we could do something and generate income quickly. We didn't have, 30 years to go build back up, our
Let me jump in with something. Along those lines, we also, like she said, we did everything right. I mean, I was the good boy. Retirement, always paid, kept my credit perfect, and did all that. And so after going through that, it was like, gosh, I can't build it up that way again. There's got to be a new way to do this, and we have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I remember we did get back on our feet. One of the things that we were literally willing to do anything. I remember I actually was a concierge.
We both were
at a resort area, making nothing.
$10 an hour.
And I was renting little paddle boards out to bratty little kids at this resort. And I mean, I did that. I had to. We just had to make some money. And then one day, God literally made a change for us and brought me in front of this sales position that I now have. And it's been able to get us back on our feet, sustain us. But at the same time, we are still committed to.
We work online, and we found other alternatives and different innovative ways to create income, multiple income streams. We're just becoming very savvy with different stuff on the internet, and just really trying to grow our world and our business life so that we can take this laptop and our phones and just go and actually we've come full circle now, because here our house is on the market now. We're listing our home and we're selling it, and we see a great income possibility for us, and we're freeing ourselves up of not only clutter and more stuff, but just being able to be almost nomads, you know, being able to just take our computers and travel the world and experience life and enjoy the rest of our lives, you know, the baby boomer years out in style. So it's been really, just looking back, you know, it's like, man, here we thought we were literally dying, you know, and really God was making a change for us so that we could really do. We're very passionate about children. We support orphanages. And we really want to go to India and Kenya and see the orphanages there. And so just so many different doors are opening up. And I just look out now, it's like I had freaking blinders on, and now they're off. And it's like so many blessings are being poured into our lives. And so I guess advice to people, maybe
I want to say something.
Maybe I know advice to people that are maybe going through some of this stuff, because I have people reach out to me all the time. You guys, I swear, just know it's happening just the way it's supposed to be happening for you.
Thing I wanted to interject. It's tough for me to get a word in here. She can go like crazy.
I can be chatty Cathy.
But going through all of that, and remember I was saying, I know we weren't the only ones who went through that in that period of time. I have maybe more so, I don't know, together we have a real desire to help other people who went through that, and let them know that there is coming. The sun's going to rise again. Excuse me, but people that have lost it all, and you know, we want to help people if there's any way we can, because you have to.
Yeah,
you can't fold up like a chair and just. You've got to somehow stand up and put one foot in front of the other and make something happen. You just have to. You can't die.
Yeah.
So if we could inspire someone in some way through this, gosh, we're happy.
Yeah.
We're happy.
The words come to mind. The world needs a man's heart. And you Paul, as you said, are doing that. I mean, you're clearly bringing your heart and putting it on the table now.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and thank you for, you know, letting us do this interview, because it's so cool. I mean, you know, you just never know who's watching, and there could be that one person out there that's just, you know, struggling and struggling and struggling, and maybe this could give them a glimmer of hope that, you know, you're not alone out there. Have such a similar story. I mean, my gosh, you just can't quit. You don't give up. You keep going, and it doesn't matter. It could be a step this big. Just take the step.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, too, freaking Les Brown and YouTube and all those books, you know, Purpose-Driven Life and Jim Rohn and all those guys got me through some of the most challenging times. So you just do whatever you got to do, whatever you got to do.
Yes. You know, even both of us have a story, or we have a story together. We still each have an individual story. I mean, a growth path, and learning and challenging herself. I can't believe some of the stuff she does. My path of kind of more of, you know, getting back on track and getting my head and my life out of the depression and into, you know, just a more positive energy coming from me, taking me a long time. I mean, this all started in 2007 and 2008. Years ago. So it doesn't happen overnight. I mean,
No.
That's why I say it. And Heidi, do a little bit. Just put one foot in front of the other one, and it'll happen. You can make it change for yourself.
Exactly.
If we bring
I also want to say nothing without God.
Yeah, amen to that. If you bring the word system into your experience, where would you identify a system began to be part of what you were implementing, and what did it change for you when you began to use a system?
Well, for me, I mean, you know, I was always looking for a system to utilize. I mean, like I said, in my opinion, I mean, you know, you have to have a job and you have to pay your bills, and you know, you have to make money. I mean, you can't have anything without money. Money gives you options and gives you choices. And I believe the systems that we're using today for us personally, like I said, you know, just systems that utilize the internet, that are, you know, taking our world online and opening up our minds to, you know, like I said, we didn't grow up with technology. You know, we're older, and my husband's still a little bit behind me even, and you know, it's like just learning what you can do with this internet world and that whole system it's fascinating to me. I mean, it's fascinating that I'm sitting here talking to you from Norway.
Yeah.
We're in America. I mean, to me, that is extremely fascinating. And so I just love that whole system of really taking advantage of what's out there and being part of social media, utilizing that system. I mean, my gosh, you know, these kids today are rocking and rolling and earning so much income and having these amazing lives and traveling the world, all from utilizing the system of the internet. And I'm like, I don't want to miss the boat there.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, that's one system that we're really taking advantage of right now, is utilizing this whole online world and finding out, you know, different creative ways to get ourselves out there and exposed so that we can really take advantage of that whole system for sure.
I think one thing too that I would say, going through that experience that we went through, I mean, literally having someone just simply send me an email and say, your job's gone. I didn't get fired. They just eliminated my position from the company. I was doing a great job. But what that said to me is, look how much power that company had over my life. They were able to literally send me an email, and from that point on, we kind of decided we need to try to discover a way to make money for ourselves, that we're not dependent on someone who can literally just pull the plug on us and have that much power over us. And we also don't want to be dependent on just one stream of income. And that's where we were. We had one main income, and someone just went, boink, you're done.
So yeah, so I mean, as far as systems go, like I said, I think just really utilizing and being creative, and the old system, I mean, in my opinion, I'm sorry, and a lot of my friends, kids went to college, I went to college, he went to college, you know, those systems are they're broken. They're just broken now. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not regretful that I went to college, but I just feel, you know, the kids are coming out of that system broke, in debt, $80,000, you know, and they don't have a job still. And no job. I mean, that's an old system. It's an old broken system, and it doesn't work. And you know, granted, we're in the baby boomers time, and I just want to keep current with the new systems that work, you know, that are innovative, that are, you know, not exhausting. You know, it's not physical labor. You know, you can be 70 years old and you can still utilize the system of the online world.
Yeah. Look at now is I've got to create for myself, and we're not all there yet, but I have to create for myself a way to make money when I'm older.
Yeah.
I have to get a new system for me that says, hey, even at a later age than I am right now, I can still work and be productive. Who knows what retirement means anymore, if it even exists for a lot of people. So I plan on working for a long time, but I can't shovel gravel all day long, so I've got to be smarter than that.
Exactly, right. And leveraging systems shows a lot of hope, doesn't it, in being able to do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, the old system is somewhat broken, so.
Yeah, dinosaur, right? It's like a dinosaur, and its time has passed. We all know that, economically and socially and worldwide, right? Not just in one country. It's something that needs to go, and you know what will replace it. And it seems the more I'm involved in what we're doing here, the story is evolving from an older dinosaur-like Darwinian theory, almost this competitive, you know, top dog, alpha male, the weakest link in the chain kind of thinking that I was born and raised with. And today it's not working, right? The equal stress on all the links, and then we have to worry about where it breaks, is ridiculous. And these systems, as I'm experiencing them, are the image, because I'm very visual, it's more like chain mail, right? So instead of just a link in a chain, I see so many links, like worldwide, that the stress is distributed. And now a weakness is not where the thing breaks. A weakness is an opportunity to strengthen in a new way, creatively more so than competitively.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you guys are doing that. I mean, I can hear it in your story, the courage you've had to let go, which is not an easy thing to do at that age and stage of life, and to struggle through, whatever, the shame, the guilt, the doubt, the fear. And I had a very similar experience as an expat in a foreign land here of Norway. I went through something somewhat similar where everything was taken from me. And it was extremely humbling. And I walked through the valley of the shadow of death. I mean, there's no saying it any other way. It was that humbling to me. I found deeper parts in the fjord than I even imagined existed. And yet somehow overcoming that has provided a story now that really has inspired what we're doing here. So if you wonder what the backstory is to Beloved Miracles, I've just given you a hint of it. It drives me, as you said, Paul, and Heidi as well, to share this and inspire others to share their inspiring story, because I needed to hear this when I was in that state, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I didn't hear this story anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can relate.
Yeah, humbling is, I can't even.
It's not even a strong enough word.
It's not even a strong enough word for what and I think I hear it in you too. I remember we would go places and I'd see other guys that are so successful, and I had just been chopped off at my knees and I could barely be in that environment. I just couldn't even be around them. It humiliated me so much.
Yeah, it happened to me.
It's a very tough thing to go through.
Just after my son was born, when I didn't even realize how strong it was in me, but the provider, the protector thing took on a whole new level as a father for the first time. And I couldn't deliver in the way that my own upbringing, really had trained me to do it. It was impossible for me to do. So it was crushing. It was just crushing.
Yes.
To be a new father and not be able to fulfill my role of a provider and a protector. So you guys, to bring it full circle, you've offered a tremendous amount of advice to couples who are building together today in 2017. Would you add any more as we try to bring this full circle for now? Any additional advice you'd have for those couples who are building together today?
Well, like what I said before, for some reason I'm echoing there. I just feel like I said, it doesn't matter what you do, you guys. It just do whatever it takes. I mean, dig deep. If it means you pray God, if it means you go out in nature, if it means you watch 15 inspiring YouTubes a day. I mean, just do whatever you need to do, because it really all comes down to, even now when we have bad days, we're all human beings and we have bad days. And even now it's like, it takes me having to change my mindset. I have to do something physically to put myself in a better place, rather than, sometimes I get competitive with myself and I feel like, God darn it, we're not where I want to be yet. We're not where I want to be yet. And so I have to action and do things to change my mindset, to remind myself that, hey, Heidi, you're taking the steps. It's coming for you. That day is coming for you. So and if you can think of a mantra, mine was, you just don't ever give up. You never give up. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I have to offer. I don't know about you.
I think I would add absolutely all of that. I hope it comes through with what we talk about. We're also both on the same page. Mm-hmm. Heidi does some different stuff during her day in terms of her career and focus, and I do something different, but we're on the same page in terms of where we're heading and where we want to go together.
Yeah.
And we hang on to that and we hold on to it in terms of the not giving up. And I guess that's maybe even a place where people have to start. You both have to be on the same page to get through this.
Absolutely.
Your hearts have to hang on together, and you've got to be on the same journey. And I think we've seen people that are going different ways.
Absolutely.
And when you're in a struggle and you're going different ways, that's not going to work.
No.
You've got to be on the same page.
That's so important. I forgot about that. I mean, we see so many couples, and one couple has this idea, or one partner has this idea, and the other one has this idea, and it's like a battle. They're constantly in a battle. So being on the same page.
You talked about system, and it's like we have a focus of a system that we want to implement in our life, and again, that's becoming independent financially, and everything we're doing is working together to make that happen.
For now, then, we'll say bye-bye from Norway.
Oh,
okay.
Bye. Sorry.
Bye,
hey, have a great
bye.
one. See ya.
Thank you.